Hi.
Hi.
We always start off so awkward. I'm like, now we're ready.
We're ready and go.
Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday.
I'm tired.
Me too. I shall get my energy from the eclipse maybe today.
Oh, who knows?
So
I know it's been like, everyone's freaking out about the eclipse.
I just want to get home and sage and start my simmer pot and like...
Be good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just going to chill and just like close all my windows. Be like, no. When is it even supposed to happen?
It
I know,
starts,
like today.
like our
We're filming
time
Monday.
at like 11:15.
Oh.
But like it's going to go until like 1:30. And we should not be able to see any totality in Nebraska. So, like, we'll only see, like, the partial eclipse, right?
Okay.
So, I don't know.
I don't know. I'm going to be here.
Yeah. I'm going to leave before because everybody keeps talking about eclipse traffic like it's, like, holiday traffic. And I'm like...
Why?
I guess a bunch of people are going to, like, have been traveling to get to, like, locations where it is, like, the totality.
Okay.
And then other people are, like, taking off work to, like, watch it. And I'm like...
I think we did that once when we were at our old job. And then
Yeah,
we
but
went
we
out,
didn't, like, take off work.
No,
we all
went outside. We played Total Eclipse of the Heart.
Yep. And then that was it.
And we're like, woo. We went back to work.
Yeah. For, like, an event that's only supposed to happen once every 375 years, we've gone through two together.
Yeah. Are we that old? Are we in a time loop?
Dope witches.
We're dope witches.
They are blessing us. Oh, the eclipse.
Oh my God.
Anyway, that's Chris.
Hi, I'm Chris. That's Karen.
Did you forget me?
I was like, oh yeah, my name's Chris.
Reminder.
Reminder. I haven't had my coffee. I'm drinking a Coke.
And we're the Midnight Babes.
We're the Midnight Babes. Woo! We need more coffee.
We're working on it.
I was just too lazy to get coffee.
I really tried to say, give me that coffee. Give me that duel.
Well, it's a morning.
It's a Monday.
It's a Monday. Well, Thursday for you guys.
Thursday for you, Monday for us.
Friday night time.
But yeah, we're gonna like redo The Nun 2. We saw it back in like
was that January?
I was gonna say it was January.
Yeah, because it was streaming, and we're like, we should probably watch this.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of sad we did.
Yeah, it was not. Okay, so I wasn't like super impressed with the first Nun.
No.
But it was like Conjuring universe.
Yeah.
You feel like you have to watch them.
Yeah.
So like we get to Nun 2. I didn't have super high hopes.
Not at all. Well, okay, we've talked about this before with the Conjuring universe and how those have been played out. The first, like, 3, cool.
Amazing.
It was different for, like, each one in that specific storyline. But then, I don't know, it just gets... And then they made Annabelle, and then they made this, and then, like, it's just...
It's gone a bit too
It's just a money grab now.
Yeah, so it kind of was, like, lost the fun for me, almost. Yeah. And, like... You can compare, like, Scream maybe as, like, a money grab, but, like, they don't lose the fun.
Very true.
And, like, you know what you're getting in a Scream movie, but you don't know exactly what you're going to get.
You're like, who's going to be the bad guy this time?
Yeah, so, like, this was different for me. Like, you can only do so many, like, demon possession movies in my mind.
And for me, I thought there was going to be a lot more outcome with The Nun 2, but it literally is just going to lead up into The Conjuring. With their little clip of, oh, he was possessed, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's the only thing that really led up to it.
Right?
Maurice, yeah.
Yeah. So it does a good job. I will say it does a good job at, like, tying in the first Nun.
Yes.
And then, like, the Conjuring.
Yeah.
So it's like a piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
Did I find it, like, scary?
No. It was comical at best.
Even that. Like, there were a few, like, fun scenes, like, when they were playing, like, the Defy the Devil game and, like, looking at, like, the goat or whatever. Like, that was fun, and it was more, like, suspenseful, but I wasn't like,
Oh, no.
I didn't feel for these kids at the school.
Mm-mm.
I didn't really feel for, like, any of the sisters.
Not really.
I just didn't, it didn't.
It does not stick. It, like, if you enjoy the Conjuring universe and, like, that is your world,
You might like
you're probably
it,
gonna
yeah.
like it. But it was just not it for me.
It wasn't for me either.
Like, at all. And I felt like there was some plot holes, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
Like, they didn't give us enough info
No.
to make it, like, a filler.
No, I thought it was fun when Valak would kind of pop out. You know, like, you knew what was expecting, but, like, it was still, like, a little
like,
fun.
ooh.
You're like, oh, no. Like, with the magazine.
Yes,
I thought that was fun.
That was one of the coolest scenes, I think,
was
that
like
there
how it came
was
up.
when it fluttered and then they all
Yeah.
flipped pages. I was like, that was fun. Plot as listed. The Nun 2 follows Sister Irene 5 years after the first film's events when she befriends Deborah, a newbie nun in a crisis of faith. They are put to test after the Vatican demands Irene performs another miracle. Valak was not destroyed. Shocker! And reigning terror on religious figures across Europe as priests fall victim to gruesome demonic murders from immaculate
what?
immolations? I don't know. To hangings and more. Irene and Deborah rush to a French boarding school to figure out Valak's motive and how to send her back to hell.
Ooh.
Now, the end of the movie I thought was fun. When they were, like battling Valak.
Oh, yeah.
That was fun. I think that was, like, the most fun that I had watching the movie.
My thing was, like, it was 5 years after the first movie. And I'm like, why wasn't, like, I understand she's gained her power back or whatever, but 5 years?
Girl,
and he's
even-
still, like, she's hiding in demon. I don't know what it is. It.
Yeah.
Was hiding in Maurice for that long. And, like, how they ended the first movie, I was like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I thought she did it. Like, she got, like...
I thought she was
the blood of
done.
Christ.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that supposed to be, like, your go-to?
I mean...
You would think. But I think it's, like...
so.
Oh, what was I saying? Like, on our last one when we tried to record, is, like, was Maurice a Horcrux? Because, like, it bit or whatever. So I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and
That's what it seems like.
Yeah, we kind of, like, talked about that, but I just, like, it wasn't, like... visually really too scary. No. It didn't, like, get my blood pumping. I thought the eyes were cool. Like, remember they had to, like, go get, like, the eyes and, like, essentially trap Valak in the eyes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought all that was fun, but at the same time, I was like, meh, it is what it is.
I think the only part that I was really giggling on was when Irene was, like, on the... Who was it? They had all the nuns or whatever sitting in that one room, and Irene was kind of towards the back, and they were talking about, like, this is what happened.
Story.
Like, the story of it. And she's over here like, it was me.
That was me.
But she's like, okay,
but doesn't say anything. Yeah, she's like, moving on.
Yeah.
It was cool because it was done as a period piece in France in 1957. So, like, they did the period piece portion really well. But they did a lot of, like, location and time jumps in this movie. Mm-hmm. And they didn't really tell you where or when. And so I was a little confused. Yeah. But, like, I wasn't confused or interested enough to, like, look further. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I was just kind of like, it's the Nun too.
We're just rolling.
We're just running with it at this point. I mean... And there's just, like, so many holes. Like, how does a demon get into a church and, like, live there?
You would think, right?
Like, I don't know. There's holes.
Yeah.
I
know someone could probably explain it, like, oh, the ground was tainted, blah, blah, blah. That's why the priest or whatever had to come by and,
But how is Valak, like, torturing, so many different, like, priests and figures across all of Europe? Yeah. It's like...
Is it kind of like leading towards nobody is free of sin, and so it could
be
off of that?
I don't know.
I don't know enough about religion and and how all that really plays out to be like, but at the same time, it's like if you have talked to somebody about it, they're like, oh, well, it's got to be this, or like, oh, no, the devil can't come in here. It's like, okay, well, obviously, like throughout history, it does.
It does.
Even like they play that into the movies, so.
Yeah, and that was like a big hole for me because growing up Catholic, the church has always been considered a safe haven.
Yeah.
So for me, I was just kind of like, I don't understand.
Is it because it was a school and not so much
a church?
The church
itself?
Excuse me, the church itself, yeah.
I don't know.
In those parts. You know what? See, but those are the questions that we have.
Yeah, that like they should be answering for us. Like, I just wasn't,
It was so meh.
And then they're gonna like chain up Valak, like,
yeah.
Chains. Okay.
Are they holy chains?
Like, did you drench them in holy water? Because otherwise it ain't gonna work. It was okay. Like, if you like the Conjuring universe, I'm sure you'll like the movie.
Yeah.
I think I gave it like a 2.4 out of 5.
Dude, I think I gave it a 1.
I was not happy.
I was so bored.
I was disappointed at the end. And that
Very
normally
much.
Doesn't happen with us. I don't feel like we leave...
Not like super disappointed, but also at the same time, we did not go into this expecting anything good at all.
We had what I feel like were appropriate hopes for the movie because it wasn't like, oh, this looks like shit. It was like, oh, it looks like it has potential, but I don't think that they're going to hit the potential
Not
it
at
has.
All. The potential was in the trailer.
And that's how I felt like the first Nun was, though.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It was scarier than Nun 2.
It had good jump scares in
because
the
you
first one.
didn't know what was going to happen. And then, like, Nun 2, it's like, well, you're expecting to see her. I
feel like it's also with James Wan and how he... was he director or producer on this? With James. I can't remember. But, like... You just kind of know that it's based off of the sound and how it, like, when he does, like, the big wide views or anything like that. Like, you know something is happening, which I think was great, like I said, for the first couple movies that he does. Is it Michael
Chavez?
Okay, but I think James Wan is the producer.
Based on characters
by James Wan. Okay, but Michael definitely played off of how James does it.
Yeah, and I know exactly what you're saying. Like, the sounds, the music, or, like, the quietness before a scene. You can, like, tell when they're coming.
Yeah.
And that kind of, like, takes the fun out of it for me.
I hate when movies do that. Like I said, it was fun when it was first out. Like, I think the first time I actually felt anything that was, like, spooky, scary that had to deal with that was Insidious.
Yes.
Because that was the first movie that came out. And I was like, that was fantastic. Like, I wasn't expecting that. You're like, why did it get so fucking quiet?
Yes. And now we know.
Now it's like, okay, well, what's going on?
Yeah, well, something's going to pop out. Something's going to happen.
And it's like when they do those wide shots, I'm like, all right, look in the background. Who's going to be there?
Yep, who's there? Gonna keep my eyes peeled.
Yeah. I don't know. I will say, like, one of the... I don't remember if she was in the first one or not, but she is the actor or actress in Euphoria as Zendaya's little sister. She played the little
girl.
Yeah, the nun girl. I believe it looked like her, at least.
Who's Storm Reed?
Yeah. Oh. Yep. And
she was in Last of Us. That's right.
That's where it is, too.
Fantastic. In Last of Us. Oh, yeah. It's not her acting. It was the movie.
You mean the show? Yeah.
Like,
yes. Yeah.
Like, so that's why I'm like,
yep.
She's great.
She's great. Well, and I think she played her part very well, too. Which is like... I don't think the acting was horrible.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it wasn't her acting. I feel like it was more or less just the story. It's like... It's overplayed. Like, it's done. God.
How many times can oh my God, this year we're getting how many fucking Catholic movies about one thing? Like, there's Immaculate, and then there's the Last Omen, or like whatever the other one.
Like new Omen redo.
Yeah, the first Omen.
Yes, and I'm stoked about that.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. That was one of the movies that like scared me as a teen because I watched like the 2005 version or whatever
with like Julia Stiles.
Yes, and I remember being like fucked up. After that movie, like little boy pushes his mom off the balcony, and I was like, he crazy.
When I was pregnant, like going through names, Damien was one of them.
Was it? You're like...
I was like, I'm not going to put that bad juju on me, though.
thrown off the balcony someday.
Just because.
And now we see that cute little boy, and it's like, he would never. Unless you had something of his that he was
Very
like,
true.
give it to me. The way you looked at me, I was
he
like,
would only, I feel like he would only do something like that if he was getting too excited and he was playing.
yeah, and he'd be like, ah!
Yeah.
Huzzah!
But I mean, 4-year-old, what?
Yeah,
it's expected. You're going to get hurt one way or another.
But yeah, we do have a lot of, like, religious movies coming.
Like, this year. I feel like we always come out, there's certain movies, and they're always grouped.
I
like,
think
one year
so,
it was, like, all
too.
vampires.
All
one year
vampire
all zombies.
movies. Yes, I totally agree.
And now we're in, and I'm like, I love possession movies, but I want
You got to do something different.
Yeah, and it's like, we understand, like, the possession is going to happen, but the plot itself
Can be different.
It needs to have
like,
something of
Talk
value.
to Me is a great example
yeah.
of, like, how we can take a traditional possession and how do we make this a new story, a new plot completely. And they did that for me, and that's one of the reasons I love that movie so much. I've never seen a possession movie done like that. Yep. And I was like, this is cool. Took me by surprise. It was thought-provoking in, like, good ways, because I was like, did she push, you know, at the end with or did she jump, like, what happened? I don't get any of that.
Nothing
with
that
like
from
the
Nun.
Nun. Yeah, I mean, I finished and I was like, okay, that sucked. Like, I think I texted you and I was like, that was not it for me.
Yep. Like, you watched it before me, and then when I watched it, I was like, no.
No.
I was so bored.
Because we'll talk about It Lives Inside, too. And, like, we watched that around the same time, and I liked It Lives Inside, which is also a possession movie, much more than I did Nun, too. Yeah. And, again, we'll talk about, like, why, but it just, you're done with the nuns.
You're done with it. They just... Stop it. Stop it. Like, I haven't liked any of the recent Conjuring universe movies. Like, we went and watched Red Door, but we really enjoyed it because it was something different. They brought back the original family.
They did it well. Yes, they answered the questions that we wanted to get answers to. And I don't think that, like, the Nun movies ever had enough questions. I just felt like it was more of, like, spin-off vibes. And, like, I still feel that way. It's just like 100%. Filler, you know, so.
100%. Well.
Yeah, we didn't love it. But you know, I wouldn't watch it again.
No.
You know, like I said, I gave it like a 2.4
Even if I watched it at night, you know, like trying to get that spooky on.
I'd fall asleep, dude.
I'd be passed out.
I'd be like, this story's boring.
Yep.
Night. But yeah, so that was Nun 2. That came out.
God, last year at some point.
I want to say like end or like fall of 23 is when it hit theaters. So same with like It Lives Inside. I want to say that one also came out in fall of 23.
Yeah,
so.
And then we watched both of we watched Nun 2 on Max, and then It Lives Inside was on Hulu.
Yep. So, and we'll talk about that one next because that was a good one.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
It Lives Inside.
Definitely
and then we'll be back
with
books. More books.
More books.
Yay.
So, yay, fun times. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, always send book recs or movie recs.
Yeah.
We'll watch them. We'll read them.
We honestly need new shit. Yeah. We've been waiting, and I've been trying to, like, scour all of the streaming shit to be like, what have we not seen?
Because for books, we're fine.
Oh, yeah. We have a long TV.
For movies, though, we're kind of hitting like a pause, and I know we've got movies coming out this summer, but I'm like, I need some sort of content other than books right now.
Yeah.
And not shitty movies, like good movies. You know?
Good movies.
Good fun movies.
So give us something that, like, that scared you.
Yeah. Or maybe, like, thought-provoking and scary or jump-scary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Any type of those spooks.
Yeah, and then we'll review it.
Yeah. Yeah. Fun.
Alrighty. All right. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. If you'd like to see more from us, you can find us on Instagram at The Midnight Babes Podcast and on TikTok at The Midnight Babes. Stay spooky, friends.